Galveston
Hello.
Talk with Dave and Sherry Rooks.
Hello.
So, if you are here live, we are doing a live podcast here, but you don't have to pay attention at all. Just don't mind us.
Oh,
But
but they
we are
will.
here,
They will.
and it's okay because this is really going out to Galveston. We're going live here. This is our inaugural podcast together,
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited.
and I am so excited to be here with you. So, yeah, we. Yeah, it's great. Galveston Talk with Dave and Sherry Rooks.
Yeah, so we started what? We got together maybe a couple of weeks ago. We started this endeavor, ironically enough. You had put on your posting looking for someone to do a podcast.
Yes, there's a
And
Facebook group. Yeah.
yeah, and I was absolutely amazed that it had been on there for a few minutes and nobody had said anything. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I've done radio. I love doing radio. We can do this. So I messaged you, and what was it? Like the next day we met at Mod and
Yeah.
we're talking about it, and we just seemed to click to be able to do this. So I'm very excited to be back on air.
And I'm so very excited to bring you to the world of podcasting.
Yee.
A world.
This is my first podcast, so be gentle with me.
Absolutely. Always, of course, it's always someone's first, right? But yeah, and podcasting again. I don't profess to be an expert. I'm more of a listener than I am. In fact, I tried a couple of podcasts, but because I have a little bit of light on me here in town,
A little bit.
I thought that it'd be fun to reach out and see if there'd be someone that want to collaborate on something like this, where we talk about Galveston and share our views, and hopefully maybe have guests on in the future, things like that.
You know what really enticed me to be able to want to do this with you, which, by the way, thank you, because this is
Thank
like
you.
amazing for me. I am a little old fashioned. I'm familiar with radio where they don't see you and you're on the air and stuff. Because I did a program here on the island for a few years about Galveston, back when KGBRC was the radio station was still here, and then moved it over to the high school that I taught at. And, so now it's moving into a podcast, and it's like, what really enticed me was you mentioning that you want to project the good of Galveston. You want to highlight and showcase all the different good things going on in Galveston, like Indies that was very recently on your posting and stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. Well, that has become more of my mission, I guess is one way to say it, because I realize that, it's very easy for me to be negative.
Not
It's,
just you, a lot of people in our
yes,
society nowadays, unfortunately, are leaning towards the negative, and it's really awesome to bring positive out.
yes. And for me, it's a more of a new endeavor. I mean, I'm really making strides to do my best to be positive and keep it very positive. But I also feel it's very, very important to be real and keep things real and honest. And,
Yes, absolutely.
authenticity is so important these
Not
days.
sugarcoating things, not misleading people in a way that should not have even be happening at all, but just real honesty from people who love Galveston. Obviously, you love Galveston. You wouldn't be doing what you do with Dave in
Yes.
Galveston if you didn't love Galveston.
Yeah. So on that note, actually, that's a perfect lead into my story.
Please do. Please do.
I'll lead.
Because
I try to lead by example sometimes, I guess.
I
I don't
was
know.
curious. I know a portion of your story, but guys, just so y'all know that are watching, we're learning a lot about each other on air. This is like
Mhm.
unrehearsed, all brand new, and
Yeah.
loving it.
Yes. This is what we'd call a preview show.
Okay.
This is not meant to be our real first show. This is a preview for what we're going to be doing every week
Every week.
for an hour.
Yeah,
And we're starting it here at Indies because we love Indies. But anyway,
absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, for me, what you mentioned about Dave and Galveston, why I love Galveston. Um, my story is that I did move here in 2010 from Detroit, Michigan. I moved here to work with a
Oh,
friend.
that's different.
Yes, yes.
Very different way of living.
Well, sure. Well, you say that, but here's the thing. See, Cherry, I must say that everywhere you go, people are the same. I feel that way. I've lived in other countries, and
Okay.
people are truly the same. Yeah. Have you lived outside of Texas?
I have lived outside of Texas. Actually, I was born up in Indiana. I'm a northerner by birth. So
That's why we
not
get along so well.
yes,
It's
absolutely.
Midwesterners.
Yeah. Well, I know. What can I
Hey,
say?
but go ahead.
Indiana,
When did you
Florida.
move from?
Oh my
Like, how long
goodness.
you been in Texas? I think you told
I
me.
have been in Texas since 1985.
Okay, you're still not born here.
No,
Yeah, 40
no,
years isn't enough. You're still
no,
not born in Texas, right?
no.
Well, okay.
But at least I can do Islander by choice.
Yes, of course you can.
And just because, well,
Or you can be a DOI like me.
yeah, well, we're not going to look at that yet. We're doing positive. No.
What are you talking about? What's negative about death? It's inevitable. It's something that it's part of life is death.
It
So
is
I
part of
have
life,
vowed
but
to die.
unfortunately, it is the ending of life.
What do you mean? How do we know?
Okay, ending of life as we know it
Okay,
here on the
perfect.
island. How's that?
Yeah, and
Does
when it
that
ends,
cover
I'll
the?
be like, what a great ride that was.
And then on to the next endeavor, whatever that may be.
Whatever it is, and who cares? Because we don't know.
Okay, so what brought you from Detroit? Which I'm sorry, you say all people are like everywhere, and I can get that. But living in Detroit, Michigan, which is a whole different animal than Galveston Island,
Sure.
what brought you here?
Well, see, the thing is that that's another whole podcast. I hate to say, but the because I have
Give
to.
us the short
Well,
and
that's what I
skim
mean. Okay,
version.
the short version it will open up. So, okay, here it is.
I won't open it up, I promise. I'll save it for later.
It's cool. So I moved to the reason Galveston is that my teaching partner in Bangkok,
Mm-hmm.
Thailand, was a man named Michael. When Michael and I both left Bangkok in 2005, I moved
Okay.
back to Michigan. He moved to Galveston.
Oh, that's your connection.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how I
All
got
right.
here.
All right. So
Yeah,
we're going to put a pause right there because that's a whole nother podcast,
it is.
as you said. And I promise to keep it short. So. All right. So you're in Galveston.
Yes.
Now what?
Well,
Because you didn't automatically do Dave in Galveston. How do we get from?
no.
How did we get from where you
So I'll
moved
tell you
here?
this. Yeah, well, I don't mean to interrupt, but
No,
I'll
no.
tell you this. So my story, because I do historic Galveston ghost tours, wink, product
Wink, wink,
endorsement.
wink.
Yeah. So because I do historic Galveston ghost tours, I have had to give a bio, an intro to myself, and I do it fairly rapidly.
Okay.
So when you do active listening like you do, which is beautiful and amazing, is one reason we're here. It also throws me off the story. Now, I'm also going to tell you this about that story. That story, I actually took that, I set it into the camera and just took that little clip and put it, and it got like 75,000 views, which is so weird to me
Nice.
because I'm about
Very
to
nice.
recite it right here. Hey, my name is Dave. I moved here in 2008. Excuse me. Let me start over. Jeez, this is live.
Yep.
I moved here in 2010 to work with a friend. I lived here 8 years, loved every minute of living here in Galveston, but met a girl that I love more. So when we got married, we moved to Chicago to be closer to her family. Long story short,
Okay.
COVID, we got divorced. I moved back here 2 years ago. And what I say is, I don't care who I marry next. I'm never leaving the island again.
Good for you, as it should be.
Yeah. So that's my edited version. Now there's a whole lot more to it than that.
Which we will get into in future endeavors.
But you did ask about Dave in Galveston.
I did.
And the birth of Dave in Galveston is that I came here with the intention of getting into real estate with friends. And I don't have a license or anything. And they were putting together a project, a business. And I was going to do the social media for them. And I said, well, if I'm going to do, I was going to do that and get my real estate license, right?
Okay.
But I said, well, if I'm going to do that, I don't want to be Dave, the real estate guy, because nobody will care about him. But if
Yeah,
I'm
not
Dave
so
in
much.
Galveston, so I looked it up, and I already had Dave in Galveston as a Twitter handle that I had for years. But I looked it up on
How funny.
I looked it up on TikTok and all the others, and it was available. So I'm like, took
That's
Dave in
it.
Galveston. Well, not really. There's always more to me.
That
There's
was
always
the beginning.
more. Yeah, that's
That was the beginning.
one bit. No,
Okay.
wait, there's more.
You do know that all of your followers are loving this right now.
Nobody
Absolute.
cares that much. They don't care that
Who
much.
is Dave in Galveston? And now they're finding out.
It's a bunch of people that saw a guy with a truck over the seawall. I mean, it's the first thing that Brandon lights up when I said it. The owner of Brandon. Within 5 minutes, many people I know say truck over the seawall. It's not my truck, everyone. Okay.
There we go. But then that's the brilliance of Dave
And
in
I'm
Galveston.
Dave in Galveston, not from Galveston.
No,
either.
Dave
I
in
do not
Galveston.
profess
And
to be
that's the
from
brilliance
Galveston.
of it because nobody knows where you're going to be next, what you're going to pop up doing, what you're going to show. And that's why people love you so, Dave.
And now, thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Sherry
You're
Rooks.
very welcome.
And that's why you're here today. No, no, I'm just kidding. But actually, you did shine a light on something that I did not think about. And
Oh.
yeah, absolutely.
I
Which
have a
is,
habit of doing that sometimes.
no, it's great. I mean, no, your keen observations, and we need to hear more about you. I'm going to finish about me with me real quick. Okay, so
Wait, what did I shine the light on?
what you shone the light on was the idea that you don't know, people don't know where I'm going to pop up next. Never occurred to me until you said it, and you said it
But it's so
before this.
brilliant marketing.
I don't. Okay, thank you.
Not
Thank you very much.
intentional marketing?
It's what I'm doing is following my whims. I'm following my gut, my instincts.
Well, don't
And
stop
okay, thank you.
because it's amazing.
Thing I was told to stop by a lot. Oh yeah,
Okay, now
I've been
wait.
told by a lot of people in here that you're
So
not doing it right.
I'm going to address this right here. Um, you have a Facebook page for Dave in Galveston, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, how many people do you have following you?
Gosh, I don't know. No, I'm
Yes, you
embarrassed.
do.
Yeah, I do. No, I just hit 23,000, which is insane
23,000. You've
on
grown since the last
Facebook.
time we talked.
Yes,
That's
and
amazing.
see, okay. So on that note, okay, if we want to talk about this, I mean, it is live on Dave and Galveston right now.
Hello.
Right, it lives in Dave and Galveston right now, so we might as well address it. But it was, it's calculated chaos because every decision I made the
People love
decisions.
it.
Well, I'm glad. And I hope it resonates with people because the star of the show, by the way, is Galveston, not me.
Obviously.
Okay, well, it's not obvious because people
It
think that
should
I'm,
be.
well, I want to, here's the thing. I'm making a real conscious effort, especially in 2026, to back off my face and back off my voice a little bit too. Maybe not my voice as much as my face.
Okay,
But
I'm going to interject something here as your podcast partner.
yes.
You are successful because of what you have been doing. Do you know why many businesses go out of business? Because instead of staying true to what made them successful, they start changing what they're doing and then they go down the tubes.
Right. I
Keep that in mind.
agree.
You have that many followers, 23,000. Good grief. When we first met, it was what, 21,000? And that's only been like a week or two ago. You're growing exponentially, if that's the correct way to say it. I say that to say this: all of the naysayers that are, you should check. Do they have a Facebook page with 23,000 followers? Do those 23,000 followers that you have, are they following you because they think you should quit? No. Following you because they love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Follow your instincts, follow your gut. That's what's making you such a success.
Thank you very much, Sherry. Okay, it's very hard to listen sometimes, especially when it's very complimentary and kind. And thank you very much.
Okay, wait. I'm German, by the way.
Yeah.
Germans do not compliment. We do not.
Okay. Well, you know what? I
Germans
think that,
simply tell the truth. It's a fact. So when I tell you something, that is where it's coming from.
I love it. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome.
And I hope that this is all being picked up on camera because I want to tell you something that I was raised by Germans and I thought I was German my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Germans are awesome.
So
they really are. Although not everybody likes us. I got to tell you.
Let's pull at that thread for a future podcast.
I like that idea.
Because if we open that thread, this podcast is going to go off the rail. German, but I thought I was. My last name is Warner.
But were you raised with the German values?
Absolutely.
There we go. Maybe that's why we click so well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Midwestern, German thing, the whole German. My God, though. That is. Okay. So one of the reasons, never mind, folks. Okay, so we're gonna maybe that will be the first little edited out clip. But how about this? I want to talk about you. This is not all about Dave and Galveston. Well, it is Dave with Sherry Rooks for a reason. And when we did speak,
I was curious about that. Tell me why that reason is.
Well, because I'm thrilled that you have been an educator, that you did radio here in Galveston, that there are people, families, and children that have heard your voice. Now they have another opportunity to do so. So this gives you an opportunity for me to platform you as well.
Oh, well,
Because,
I'm
yeah.
very tickled to be back on the air.
Okay, good. So
I'm
please
very
share with
tickled.
everyone why you're here, because you have amazing credentials. And I really, really hope that this is being, heard live by people. I'm not sure. Now, you can hear me back there.
Yes,
And I know we're live on the air there, but I'm not sure if this live one, we'll find out, I
we'll
guess.
find out.
Okay. So
That's the fun part about doing things live. It's always a surprise, and you never know.
that's very true. Okay, that's very true. So, Sherry, please share with our audience exactly why you're here. What have you done to bring you to this point?
Why am I in Galveston? Why am I here with
Well, why
you?
would
What?
you be
Where do you want me
interested
to
to
start?
be a podcaster? Why would you be interested in doing a podcast with me? Why did you jump at the opportunity?
Oh, I did too. I jumped.
I know you did, and
I was
that's what
like
I was looking for
Johnny
more
on the
than
spot right
anything.
there.
I don't see. Here's the problem: a lot of collaborators out there, and including myself. We all try. Okay, that's another thing. I got to point the finger at me.
Okay.
Look, I've been trying very hard to make sure people know that there's ideas. But we have a lot of ideas. It's a very creative place. But taking those ideas and turning them into something, that's that step, and you jumped at the opportunity, and
Oh,
that's what I
absolutely.
wanted more than anything, is for somebody to want to do it, right?
To have
Not
that passion.
to have a passion for it,
Absolutely, I
right?
do.
So
Absolutely, I
please
do.
explain why you have this passion.
I will say back in 2013, I started teaching at Ball High School. I taught hospitality and tourism, teaching the students how to work in the hotels or restaurants. And I became very integrated into the society around here. Love it. It's just absolutely, Galveston is just a whole nother place. It really is. It's amazing. I remember when I first started, my CTE director at that time, Eric Paul, we were out at the San Luis because we worked under the San Luis in the various different hotels here on the island. He's like, Sherry, this is your program. Run with it.
Mm.
Yes, sir. I know what that means. And I took off running with it. Made the connections with hoteliers, restaurateurs, the Restaurant Association, just working in and out. And then at that time, KGBC had come back to the island. Now, for those of you that don't know, KGBC was a radio station here on the island for many, many years. For some reason, it pulled away and left. Then it came back. And when it came back, I'm thinking, that would be a perfect thing. Okay, at that time, we've got a lot of influencers on the island right now, you and several other people. But at that time, there weren't any.
Mm.
And so, me being me, because I'm very brazen when it comes to hospitality and the program I was teaching, I went to the radio station. I'm like, so what do y'all think about doing a radio show for about an hour? Call it About Galveston, and we'll just talk about Galveston like we're doing now. But back then, it was more of a bridge because in Galveston, you have the locals, you have the tourists. And
Mm.
that can be a very volatile subject matter right there, which I'm sure we'll do a whole nother show on at some point in time.
Absolutely.
But, it's just like how I started teaching the high school. I became a bridge because the hoteliers and restaurateurs and things like that, pleasure pier and stuff, they needed the students for working. The students needed jobs,
Hmm.
but there was no connection there. I ended up being that bridge. I was a bridge between the students and the different places. And so I took that same thought process and then used it towards the locals and the tourists. Where About Galveston did a rounded show to where it would speak to the locals and things that were important to them, but it would also speak to the tourists and things that were
Careful
sorry,
the mic.
we're
It's all right.
live.
Yeah, we are live. It's all right. Just reminding you. It's all.
Pardon me for
Just
that, you
want to hear
guys.
you.
Um,
You.
but I was a bridge.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And so, I hated it when the radio show ended. KGBC again closed down, moved off the island.
Okay.
At that time, Ball High was developing their radio station with Mike Dudas taking over it and stuff. And my boss said, move it to Ball High, which I did. Then, and people, positions change people and things like that. And we'll just say that the radio show was ended. So I was sitting there playing on my phone and I looked at your post and I'm like,
Mhm.
a podcast?
Yeah.
I've never done a podcast, but I sure know how to talk on the radio. I could talk
Yes.
the bark off a tree if I wanted to. I'm like, let me just message him and see if it would work. And ta-da, here we
Yeah.
are.
All a podcast is a radio show that lives on a file. That's really all it is.
And
That's
they
all
can
it is.
see
Yeah,
it.
you can move it around. Well, there's video podcasts and audio. We're really doing this more for the audio as well. You know,
Correct.
the fact
Okay.
that we have cameras on us and stuff is just why not,
It
right?
just is
It's
what it is. It's
exactly
not. It's not.
well, we're all on our phones. But what? Let me just my apologies before we get off this. What an amazing story, and that's
Thank you.
exactly the story that you share with me on the phone that just lit me up. Like I'm super excited because everything that you talk about is exactly what I'm interested in and what I feel like I'm about when you talk about building bridges
Hmm.
that is
Making those connections.
yes, making those connections. Well, here's the thing, how far along? Hey, Liam, could you look at the time and see how long this has been on the air, sir? On the phone right here. Look at where I'm pointing. Can you look and see how long we've been on the air, sir? Okay. 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 Well, I thought a young fellow might figure it out sooner than that. But like where exactly is there a time? There's a time that how long it's been on? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind. Okay. It's 2:14 right now. Does that count? 2:14
Is our
p.m.
time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Liam. I appreciate it. I don't know when we started.
That's okay. We'll work with it.
Well, we'll work with that. Okay. So thank you very much, Liam. Okay. We're at 21 minutes. Thank you very much, Brandon.
Okay. So about three.
Okay, yeah. About 3 o'clock. Yeah.
About
Okay.
three.
Yeah.
A
Just
few
about.
minutes
Yep.
before.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. We're working it out live, folks. We're figuring it out as we go. So we are live at Indies. Before I get into that, though, I did want to finish the idea of the analogy. Just not an analogy, but one thing that I've really, really focused on a lot here is the idea of building bridges, and
Hmm.
that's something that I always feel that I've loved to do. I get a real kick and a thrill out of introducing two people that I think are really interesting together at the same time.
To see how they'll
Yeah, well, sure,
connect
just
and
to,
work it
yeah.
out and stuff.
That for some reason I get a real thrill on that to be the one to introduce. Like for example, I'm gonna name drop a guy I love, Mark
Okay.
Metzger. Mark Metzger.
He's an attorney around here,
He
isn't he?
is. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, he's an
I
attorney around
only know
here.
that from watching Dave and Galveston, by
That's
the way.
amazing. Hey,
I
Mark,
only
did you
know.
hear that?
Yeah.
I love you. But anyway, so Mark Metzger is an attorney here in Galveston. He's a super cool. I his sensibilities. He's one of the most outstanding people I've ever met. Quite frankly, that's the only. And my best friend Ryan is a guy
Okay.
here on the island. He's the manager of Tola Mo Better Market. He's been there for 20 some years. But I was able to introduce those two guys who didn't know each other at all, and it just made me so thrilled that I get to introduce, you know what I mean? Like these two guys that I
Well,
think are
because
really great guys.
they're great people, but in some context, you knew that they could interact together in a
Yeah.
good capacity.
And they might not be best friends or anything like that, but one of the things that I still get overjoyed about are the friendships. Like I had a thing called Galveston Social Group here 10 years ago, where when I quit drinking, because I've been sober from alcohol for 12 years.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you
congratulations!
very much. I needed to
That's a
quit.
heck of an accomplishment.
Thank you,
It
especially
really
in my
is.
family. Yeah. So anyhow, that's another show.
I'm just
But
going to put a little call out there for anybody else that's working on that situation in their life right now. You know, you coming up with a very positive, that's where I was, and I've been sober for 12 years, might just be the boost that they need to give them that little extra to make it another day without drinking.
well,
I
thank you
think
very
that's
much.
I think that's awesome.
And I'll tell you what, one thing that I, want to convey to everyone that thinks that they can't have a life, a social life without drinking, I am proof positive that you can get out and have fun without drinking. I've been doing it for 12 years. I never thought that I would have fun without drinking. And now I'm like, think of all the times I ruined with my drinking. Concerts I have
Yeah,
no
no
recollection of
memory
seeing of.
because
Yeah.
you were so wasted at the
Yeah,
time.
so
Yeah.
wasted through an entire show. I'm like, yeah, well, I saw the Beastie Boys. Can't
Okay.
remember a lick of it.
I don't think anything happens by sheer coincidence. I think everything is divinely timed in things. I really, really believe that. I believe you touching on this right now. There's somebody out there that needs to hear this.
I hope so. And one of the great ideas about this podcast is that it does live essentially forever. We're going to put it out there,
Mm-hmm.
and people can go back and listen to the origin story of why we're here. So that's a little bit about who we are and why we're
Okay.
here.
Yes.
Why I think we talked on that a little bit. I did mention that we'd be talking about the who, what, where, why, and when, right?
And I'm
The
like,
the
okay,
usuals.
yep.
Well, why not, right? I mean, because people need to know who we are and why we're doing this. So
Which,
we have a
by the
passion,
way,
yeah.
I no longer teach at Ball High.
Okay.
So that has to be the ending of how things are, simply because it was like, that was devastating not to be able to do hospitality anymore. And so when you offered this, I jumped on it because I love Galveston. So, and
Yeah,
the
I do
thought
too.
of being back on the air and being able to share our island, you know, as a podcast, I mean, people are going to be hearing this all over the place.
Let's
Being
hope.
able,
We'll see. Yeah.
well, they definitely will. And being able to share Galveston, that's my passion.
Me too. And I feel, see, again, that's where we're 100% allied. And I think that most of us here feel that way. There's something about this place.
It's different.
It is.
It gets in your blood.
It,
It's just
it
it
gets in your
becomes a
blood.
part of you.
It,
You don't live on Galveston. You're a Galvestonian, whether you're a BOI or not.
and
It
no matter
gets
what other people say,
correct.
you know it in your heart if
Oh,
you are or not.
now I will give credit to the BOIs have a stronger attachment.
Of course,
We will give
as
credit
it should be.
as it should. But, you know, those of us that have been through the ringer and back a few times and have chosen to make this where we inhabit, you know, we're a little unique too.
Are you listening, folks?
I hope so.
And see, I agree with that wholeheartedly because here's the thing: you can make the argument, okay, some people might say, I was born here and I've lived here my whole life, and you know what? That's a good reason for you, have pride.
Hmm.
I love this place too. I get why you have pride about where you're born and where you live, but
We're
I've
such a resilient people.
well, hold on. Well, I mean, yes, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, hold on. It just
Go ahead.
there's
No,
a
no,
second
no, no.
sentence to
Go
this.
ahead.
You always find that there's always a second sentence with Dave Warner.
Point taken.
Yeah, there's always more. What was it? Live, for getting on air.
BOI versus non
Okay,
BOI.
so here's the thing.
Okay.
So you can make the point that somebody that's lived here their whole lives and never left and never lived anywhere else but Galveston has something special about them, right?
Yes, yes.
But I have lived all around and I've
choose.
chosen,
That's
hold
it.
on,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've chosen to move to Galveston not once, but twice.
That's right.
And from halfway across the country in both cases, from Detroit to Galveston, and then when I went from Chicago to Galveston.
See, I get the being born on the island, and they have their specialness about them. But you know, those of us that have lived other places and seen other things. Now, I have not been world traveled like you as of yet. That's something I hopefully will get into later. But when we choose to make Galveston our home, that's a choice. That's very
Exactamundo.
powerful.
Yes.
So
And you got to recognize
well, there shouldn't be the competition.
you being the audience out there.
There shouldn't be a competition. We are two different sects of people that love Galveston, that enjoy Galveston, that are proud of Galveston, and we support it in our own way.
What about sex with people?
Hmm?
Sex. CECTS.
Oh,
That's a 50-cent word for our audience. But it sounded like sex.
It
and of
did?
course I went there immediately.
So, you know, I was like, okay.
Never gonna miss the opportunity for the cheap joke. Not my truck. Right? Never. It's obvious.
That is going to be a forever joke, not my
Well,
truck.
how about this? And again, I could have capitalized on that so much,
Mm.
but I refuse to be only that. I don't want to be that. I'm Dave in Galveston. I'm here to show Galveston. That's one facet. And about that truck thing, I do want to say that how many times have we all heard? Okay, I got to talk about this thing because everybody
go
it
for
went
it.
viral. But how many times have we all heard of cars going over seawall? We've all heard it.
Too many times.
You live
Too
here.
many times.
Yes. So my thing was when I saw on Facebook that a man named Paul O. He's an excellent bass player, great guy. Paul O. posted a photo of a truck that had gone over seawall, and it was posted 12 minutes earlier. And here I was, Saturday morning, doom scrolling at 12:30, whatever time it was, like noon, and I'm still in bed, and I'm doom scrolling, and I see that this post by Paulo, and I was like, I can get a photo of it. So I jumped out of bed. I grabbed the first clothes off the floor, my shorts and my t-shirt, grabbed my shoes, my keys, my
Out
phone.
the door you go.
Boom. I go down Seawall, traffic jam 2 blocks before the truck, right?
Right.
So I park on Seawall. I run to the thing, and the police were just getting there, and the truck was over Seawall. And I looked, and it was a glorious, gorgeous blue sky, big white puffy clouds day. Everybody's out. It was a gorgeous day. It was July 12th. It was gorgeous as could be. So I go out there, and there's the truck. It's a dark blue, navy blue truck, perfectly silhouetted over Seawall. I'm like, perfect photo, right?
Angled, right? Yep. Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
photo opportunity. I'm going to take a video even. Wow, right? So I go there, and again, no police around. The tow truck was kind of maneuvering. I had like free reign to do whatever. This guy walked by and he goes, "Hey, would you take my photo in front of this truck?" And I said, "Well, of course." And I did. And I said, "Oh, will you take my photo?"
Okay,
right?
all right.
So then it occurred to me, oh, I need a photo in front of this. I never even occurred to me. And I turned around and I said, "Will you give me a 1, 2, 3?" And he went 1, 2, 3.
And that was your jump. That's
Well,
when you jumped?
well, no.
Okay.
Okay. I know active listening is really works. Okay, I gotta. Okay, sorry, I gotta get better at this. Okay,
Okay.
it's all right. I gotta get better for podcast talk, storytelling rather than monologuing, because I'm used to monologuing. You know, people pay
Okay,
me to do that
all
on
right.
tours. Anyway, so again, because I get excited, because I go. He says, "Take a photo." I said one. He said 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so I knew he was adept at taking photos. So I'm like, oh, pose number 1, pose number 2, pose number 3,
Ah.
pose number 4, right? So then he hands it back, and I look, and I'm wearing my Dave in Galveston shirt. I had one made, and I had worn it the day before, and I had thrown it on the floor. That was what I picked up. I looked at the photo, and I had my arms in the air. I was just being goofy, just being, silly, irreverent, not my truck, right? And then I look at the photo, and it's got Dave in the Galveston in the center. All I had to do is edit it just this bit, and the line of sight. Now I know a thing about photography, folks, okay, and I know a little bit about line of sight and things like that. So every line of sight in the photo led to my logo. As soon as I manipulated the
You could
photo,
not have planned that better.
I that's what I'm saying. Like if I had planned it, it never would have come out nearly as good.
Not nearly as
I
good.
knew that I had a money shot right there and posted it instantly. Posted it instantly. Then I was like, oh, I got to get a video here. So I did video and I made a few jokes, a couple one-liner dummies like,
Okay.
oh, the first day you buy your truck is the greatest day you buy your truck, but the worst day you buy your truck is when you drive over Seawall, right? Again, easy joke, right? Anybody can make it, but I just opportunist. I had an opportunity, right? And then I remembered, oh my God, I got to stick around because how many times have cars gone over Seawall and I've never seen one lifted over Seawall. I've never seen one
Where
picked
they get
up.
back. Yeah, no.
I've seen a photo of it, maybe, of a tow truck over Seawall, but I've never seen the actual process. So I knew, boom, right there, major league gold, gold,
Gold. There we go.
gold video, right? So I shot that, and that is the one that really, really made things big.
Now, I have heard, unfortunately, some flack from a few people about the truck going over.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've heard of it too.
of course.
But I would like, and you're going to find that I am an eternal optimist, I would like to put a different twist on it.
Mm.
What people don't realize with as many followers as you have in Dave and Galveston. And unfortunately, people driving over the seawall is rather common. I mean, how many
Yes.
have we had this summer?
Every summer, every year, I've
I
lived here
know we've
10
had
years
5 or
almost.
6 this year already.
Absolutely.
Okay, so do you think your show, with all the followers and Murphy's Law, every person knows 7 people, and then the ripple effect of that, do you think you might have possibly saved many people from driving over Seawall?
Nope.
Because I
Oh,
do.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do. Because
Finish your thought.
how many people aren't from around Galveston? Now, come on. The average street in a city doesn't just go whoop over. I mean, you don't think about, oh dear, if I don't stop at the light at 61st Street, I'm going to go flying into the ocean. If you're not from around here, you don't know this kind of stuff.
Sure.
You're bringing an awareness to
Oh.
things that people have not had an awareness of. What if somebody that's in South Dakota coming? I mean, people don't realize, and this is something I know from doing the hospitality. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars marketed from like Visit Galveston to market Galveston all over the United
Sure.
States, all over the
And they do a great job.
and they do an amazing job. But here's the thing: what if somebody in South Dakota, they're coming down here for a vacation in a couple of weeks? Oh, hey, look at that! People, we got to watch it on the seawall up there because people end up driving over because they don't know.
Okay, excellent point. And you know what?
Correct.
Okay, so that is what that guy called spin. You know what I mean? The spin zone and all that stuff. You
Okay.
can definitely see, and that is something that's very true in today's world. You can spin any story into anything you want. You can, So yeah, that is okay. I agree. And here's the thing. On that note, I'm the only one showing you that stuff. And I knew
Correct.
that going in, and
Absolutely.
that's what I feel I'm taking from your
Well,
interpretation of it.
because if people don't know,
Right. Well, sure. That's what I mean. If you don't know, you know what I mean. So that's well. See, for me, the version of Galveston that I don't want to say everyone, but many people do, including tourism places in
okay,
Galveston. Let's leave names out of it.
okay,
There's this polished, aesthetic, sanitized, shiny, beautiful, perfect version of Galveston that they want to convey to the world that is valid and not inappropriate. It's
necessary for tourism to an extent.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
So that is covered, is the way I look at it. What I noticed when I thought about doing this, when I decided, because the story isn't that I did that, and our real estate business fell apart,
Okay.
and I abandoned Dave and Galveston until January 8th of 2024. 1 week into the new year, I was like, either I have to get a real job, or I'm gonna maybe I can make something into this. That was what really. So I didn't really start Dave and Galveston until January 8th of 2024. But why I did was I was like, I'm sick of seeing, quite frankly, there's no male representation that I could see
Very true. Very true.
of lifestyle in Galveston. And I'm not your typical male in that I don't really get into sports and things like that, golf or fishing, things like motorcycles, things like that. So I can slide in there a little bit more. I'm not gonna,
You bring a very fresh and new perspective to
sorry.
Galveston. My fortune from how the brain works and learning and things of that nature to how like countries interact. Men and women think differently, and to properly represent our island, you need both points of view.
I
And
agree.
you bring a very real uh, male version of things.
I hope so. And it's not going to be super hardcore male either.
Mm.
Although I do have red blood in my veins. I'm
Well,
sorry, I'm
I'm
hetero. I
sorry, you
like,
are a man.
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a man sometimes too.
No, I didn't mean that. But you're going to think that way. You're going to think like a man. I'm going.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! You know what I just thought about?
Huh.
This is a perfectly well balanced show. We have a male representation and a female
Yeah. Oh,
representation.
yeah.
And for anybody who is, whoops, I just went into something.
Oh,
Um, we love everyone. Let's put it that way.
yes.
We're just speaking from our own personal experience, and we are not speaking about any other one's
Yeah.
experience.
Sure.
Did I get out of that one pretty good?
I think so. I
Good.
don't think that you were in anything, quite frankly. And see, one thing that I do love about Galveston is there is a feeling of, you know, anything goes, I guess.
Be
There's a
yourself,
yeah, be yourself. There is a real
whoever
acceptance
you are.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that everybody really accepts you. There, it takes time. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it takes
gets
time.
yeah. I mean,
And
there's
we have to have a merging of um, age differences, I think, is more important than, yeah.
I think so. And I think that some of the people that have had a toehold on things for centuries need to maybe, let some new blood in. Anyway, that's just my idea. But no, never mind. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So, okay,
No,
so
you,
who
you
we are.
touch on a very good thing. You touch on a very good thing. Being where I'm at in life right now, which obviously I'm not 20. We're not going to go into how old I
You're
am,
not?
but I am not 20. So, with that being said, respect. It does not,
RESPECT.
absolutely. It doesn't matter if you're 15, 20, 30, 40 up. We should respect other people's viewpoints. I may not agree with everything like you do. You may not agree with everything that I do, but we respect one another's viewpoints. And I think that is a huge thing that we need in our world.
Absolutely. Find out what it means to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And I love it. No, it's well, your credentials, everything. Again, our easy conversations now told me that we could do this. And yeah, I'm super excited about, like, again, I love your connection to the school, the Ball High. I love your connection to the tourism industry, and you're an educator. I mean, it's like, again, your passion for radio, all these things. It tells me that we have a lot of opportunity here, a lot of opportunity
absolutely.
for great conversation. I don't even think we need to worry about guests for probably, who knows how
A
many
while.
weeks. Yeah,
A while.
exactly. But, I want this to be a frank and real, honest discussion. It is called Galveston Talk.
Yeah. Not dodging anything because it might be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but being kind and respectful when we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, are we looking at the time? How are we doing?
We are doing
We are
great.
so, well,
We are
yeah.
great.
Wow. You know what? It's funny that, um, so I did want to talk about the who, what, where, why, and when,
Okay.
and wow, right? So I guess we covered the who we are,
Right.
and what this is. I mean, do we want to talk about more about what this is? What are your visions for this? What would you like to come of an hour-long podcast called Galveston Talk with Dave and Sherry Rooks? What would you like?
The bridge.
Okay,
The
continue to build
bridge.
the bridge.
Absolutely the bridge. I mean, it is hard for me to see as somebody that's been so integrated on the island and in everything that I've been into and everything. There is still such a break between local and tourist.
Yes.
And that, you know, people need to realize that we are there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
As locals, yes, sometimes things can be a little inconvenient, um, but there's a very, very good side. And I won't bore everybody, which I could
Well,
very
no, you're
easily.
not. You're not
With
boring
the
anybody. If they're listening this far, they're interested in what we have to
well,
say.
I
So
mean,
we
with
have
the data,
time too. Hmm.
all the money that these tourists bring into our economy, and the things that they provide with us, or how
Right.
we don't have to pay as much in things because of the tourist.
Right. Well, okay. So on that note, see, one of the things that I want to talk about is that while I am perceived by you and others that I have a good marketing sense, and
You do.
I do, yeah. Well, I mean, it's years of sales training and years of being on the internet and all these things. I mean, this is all, I didn't pop out fully formed, right? This has been a long time coming, right? I mean, I was a DJ in Detroit for 18 years. I don't even
No,
talk
you
about.
were not.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I have a whole life before 2010. A whole
okay.
life that I never
So
talk about.
put a pin in that. That we're going to talk about your life as a DJ.
Well, we got so much time.
So we can talk about that at a
Yeah.
different time. But
Mm.
you were talking about the local and the tourist and that
Well, yeah,
connection.
I do think that that's something that, yeah, that's what this is about for me too. Well, see, one thing that I realized when I decided to do the Saving Galveston thing was that, yeah, we have 50,000 people that live here
Hmm.
approximately, and we have 8 million that visit
That comes,
approximately, right?
yeah, it's
So,
a little, yeah.
so what I realized after coming from Chicago, which is such a you know dense market,
Hmm.
right? So much competition, and I was moving back to Galveston. I had 8 years of experience here. I thought, it won't be very hard to get everybody's attention, right? And you
No.
can do it a positive way or a negative way, right? And that was what happened. um I'm sorry, it's just so weird that
No,
we're
no.
live. We're live actually in an
And I
Indies
love
right
it.
now. I do love it
I
too.
love
It's
it.
amazing. And again, I just realized that people coming in might not be aware of what we're doing, but they don't care. They don't
You
care.
know
It's
what?
like
It won't
just
take
something
them long
cool
to
in
figure
Indies.
it out.
Yeah, we're live on Indies as well.
Which, by the way, let's give a shout out to Indies for those of you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about Indies for a
They
minute.
have amazing coffees. I am told.
Oh,
Do you know why I say I am told?
because you don't drink coffee, I think.
I do not drink coffee.
How come?
So, funny story. So I grew up on my grandmother's fishing lake in
Okay.
Indiana.
Okay.
She had a fishing lake. She also owned a restaurant where she fed the farmers lunch every day.
Okay.
Yeah, the good old, like old
Yeah.
fashioned, down home kind of cooking thing.
Yeah.
Grandmother drank coffee all the time. She drank hot coffee in the morning, and by the time it was the afternoon, she drank iced coffee.
Right.
That's just the way. It wasn't all the lattes and all. It was just plain old harsh, strong
Black
coffee.
coffee.
And so, of course, I idolized my grandmother. And as a small child, I think I was probably 5. I was at the restaurant one day, and I'm because we lived on the same area as her restaurant,
Mhm.
just a few little ways up in a trailer. In a trailer, so we
Okay.
lived in that area. I'm like, Grandma, can I have some coffee? You know how little kids are.
Yeah.
She's like, you want some coffee? I'm like, yeah, I want some coffee. She's like, okay, go get you a cup. I went and got a cup and set it down. She poured it for me. She's like, okay, how are you going to drink your coffee? I said, well, what do you mean? She's like, what do you want in it? You want cream? You want sugar? What do you want?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how do you drink your coffee, Grandma? She looked at me with that grandma look. She's like, I drink mine hot and black. I'm like, then that's what I'm going to do, Grandma.
Mm.
I took a big old gulp of that. And all these years later, I can still taste that nasty.
Wow. How old were you? This is your formative years.
5.
5. Oh my God. So that is a
So that is
lifelong
why, yep,
dislike of coffee
yep,
from that one. Like I've gotten over bad tastes in
yeah,
my
no.
life. Wow. Because okay. Wow.
This wasn't
So if
flavored.
you
It was
smell it, is it bad for you?
no, no, no. No, I have 3 grown daughters, and each of them at some point in time is like, Mom, try this. It's a coffee, but it's like, I'm like, okay,
Uh,
no. So
yeah.
I say all that to say this. This is a Topo Chico with
Hmm.
dragon fruit. So your friends want to come and hang out here. You're not a coffee drinker. That is okay because they have a little other things other than coffee.
Yes.
They also have
So
wonderful sweet snacks, which I am sitting here, and you'll notice holding my fingers because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, those things look so good. But anyway, I
yeah,
digress.
don't do it. Not
Okay.
yet. Not during the podcast. So afterwards, maybe.
No, 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 no. We're going to resist.
So I might as well announce that we have some more guests here at Indies that have arrived.
Yeah, look at this.
Hey
People
everyone,
coming
I
in.
just want you to know that we're doing a live podcast. It is an experiment here, so sorry if we're disturbing you. Hopefully it's
Hi,
not too
guys.
loud. But we're glad that you're here, and we're really appreciative of Indies for letting us do this live here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Can't thank him enough.
thank you. Yes. So yeah, they don't care, and it's okay. Yeah, because we'd rather be the
That's okay.
background noise to their enjoyment of this place.
You know what? That's a beautiful thing.
I
Place
love
to
it.
be.
I love it. I love your voice. I could listen to your voice all day
Oh,
long.
you're
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh,
Thank
you do have that
Thank
again.
you. Do you know what they're going to say
What they're gonna say?
as this comes out? Do you know what these people are going to be saying? I was there when they filmed that.
Nah, I doubt it highly.
I,
Okay, so
you want to take a
I
bet?
love. You know what? I love that you are very
I
optimistic.
am an
Okay, so
optimistic
here's the
person.
thing. The one thing that I really learned from this whole journey that I've been on, this social media thing that I've done, is every time I have expectations, they're squandered. Like I spent 7 hours editing a video
Right?
that got no response, and then I spent 5 minutes making a video and it got 100,000 views.
Okay, so
So
what did you do different? What was the difference besides the time invested? Because I asked that because that's where your answer lies.
because
Was your
people,
5 minute one more like spontaneous?
yeah, okay, people don't want overproduced anything. They don't
They
want
want
high production.
realness.
They want real.
They want honesty. They want realness. They want
Yes.
things that are very sincere because that doesn't happen a whole lot
Right.
anymore.
Well, I say that attention is currency.
True.
See, and again, I really want everyone to know that I do understand that. Like, so when I was saying about the idea of coming here to Galveston, like I knew coming back that I could number one, I could make myself known in town. I mean, I already kind of was with.
Yeah.
I have a Facebook group called Galveston Locals Only. It was called Galveston Gossip, but I was an originator of Facebook groups in Galveston in 2016. So it's
Oh, back when it was just like coming
brand new.
out and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So I was, but then I moved. As soon as it started to kind of grow into something, I moved and I turned it, did I tell you I went to Branson? See, I don't talk about the Branson in between Galveston and Chicago
I
because
did not
that's
know
another
about
whole.
Branson.
Well, why would you? Because I cut it out of my bio all the time because I lived in Branson for a year And during that year, I decided, I was like, hey, well, I've had such success with this Facebook group in Galveston. I'll start one in Branson. Well, it became the talk of the town in Branson. And I sold it just in January. I sold it for an undisclosed sum.
There we go.
Yeah. And, again, it's crazy. You're not supposed to sell Facebook groups. I didn't. As
Who
far as
says you're not supposed to?
well, I mean, it happened. So, and they can't prove it. So anyway,
There
no,
we
just
go.
joking.
There
No,
we
just
go.
joking. They can't prove it.
Um,
Oof. Well, okay, cut that part out. Cut that
no,
part out.
no, no,
No, I know, I'm
no.
messing
Don't cut
around.
out.
I know, I'm messing around. But anyway, so the point of it is, so I knew a thing or two coming back here. I
Okay.
learned from
All
the
right.
experience I
Okay.
had of the 8 years or whatever I lived here, combined with the experience that I had the 5 years away. So I came back, and I was like, okay, I could use this skills to market real estate. Well, I hate selling. I don't want to sell real estate. It's a nightmare to even think about on this island. Everybody knows that everybody's having trouble selling. All my real estate friends are worried and struggling. I don't want to join that club. I would
And be
rather,
miserable.
and besides, I don't want to pretend. I'm sick of pretending to sell any other thing. That's the thing. I burned out so spectacularly on sales. But the other thing is too, because my story is, and I said I was pulling at that thread later, but I went through, I call it 5 years of hell. When I left the island, my entire life fell apart. I'm not
Maybe
kidding.
you shouldn't have left the island.
Well, why do you think I'm back? Why do you think I'm Dave in Galveston? Because I'm like, look, everything else sucks. Nothing else works.
This
Well,
is where this is your happy place.
well, it is my home. It's my happy place now. And because you know what? Number one, I don't want to move anywhere else. Number one, I don't want to move again. I mean,
Okay.
that's really, really a big part of it. I've moved, literally pulled my stuff and moved across the country several times, right? It's a slog. I'm done with it, right? I'm done. I'm too old to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to rebuild again, right? I had to
Right.
rebuild again and again from the 5 years I was gone, and with no results. Nothing came of it. I came back here, and I have the best friends I've had in my life here,
See,
and
this is where you belong.
it's
This is
absolutely
where
where I
you're
belong.
supposed to be.
And see, we are part of the long, long tradition of people coming to Galveston.
Mhm.
People come to Galveston and find Galveston. Now, sometimes they are, Robert Durst, right? But sometimes they are you and me,
Right.
right? And most
Absolutely.
times they are you and me. People that want to be on a beach and live on an island. See, I love the idea of living off the coast of America. I love that idea. You have
Yeah,
to drive a bridge to get to me.
and it's not. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, the hurricane thing, not that big a deal. I mean,
Bring it
you've got
on.
it. You've got to. If you're a diehard, you ride it out. I, however, am a little spoiled. I like to have my electricity, and stuff. So I
You
will
are
probably.
spoiled.
I am very spoiled. What can
Dare
I
you
say?
want electricity?
I know.
Bougie. You're so
Yes,
bougie.
yes, yes. But with hurricanes, you get warning. So either batten down the hatches or go over to the mainland.
Yeah, we got Hurricane Hale to save
We're
us.
okay.
Yeah, Hurricane Hale. Just trust in Hurricane Hale. Do what he says, and everything will be fine. Here's the thing. I am going to reveal something.
Uh oh.
Yeah, this is a big reveal for all
Uh oh.
those that made it to this point of the podcast. Now, you might have seen my logo, Dave in Galveston. You can't avoid it in a way, right? That logo represents the big giant wave that's going to come and wash away the island.
You think?
No, that's what Dave in Galveston is. I'm the wave that's coming to wash away.
Oh. Okay.
No, maybe I'm
Okay.
taking it
Okay.
too
No,
far.
no, 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 no,
Kind
no,
of a
no.
joke, though. Yeah, but yeah, we're all gonna die in a giant hurricane together, and it's gonna be very exciting. Right, you're with me together. That's the key.
Such optimism here. I mean,
But it's coming for us all. See, the thing is, one thing that you need to know is that I know a lot about death, and I don't mean that in a morbid, scary way. I just mean it that
we're going to have to do a show about that at some point.
absolutely, but I don't fear it. And I'm not, and I don't, so, and a lot of people go, don't even bring it up. But it's like, look, if I said everybody that's watching this podcast is going to die and it happened, that would be the most amazing thing that ever happened. I would be
Oh
like a
my
god.
gosh.
I'd be like so powerful, right? I mean, come on, it's ridiculous to think.
It's ridiculous to think that that would actually happen.
Because
However,
words are just sounds that we make with our mouths that we all agree upon mean something. That's all they
correct.
are.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. However, there are groups of people out there that maybe are curious about that. So I think a future show talking about death
Yeah.
as much as I'm like, yeah. But I mean, it is what it is.
So I say all the time that if I live 20 more years, I will have outlived every biological male in my family.
Oh,
So every
that's a
year,
good goal to
yeah,
have.
well, every year after the 20 I got left is a gift. And the gift, and every day that I have now is a gift, really, quite frankly.
You
And
know,
you too. It's all of us.
true, true.
Yeah. If you look at it like it's a gift, then I mean, at least you can handle it, right?
Absolutely.
'Cause, yeah.
What do you think about having our viewers maybe letting us know some ideas of what they want to hear about? We're talking about what we want to talk about,
Yeah.
but what about what they want to hear?
I'm dying to know. Of course, we want all feedback.
Absolutely.
This is going to live in different formats in different ways. It's already being broadcast on Indies, but this is going to be a podcast on YouTube, and it's going to be on Facebook. It'll be a little bit more official. Right now, it's on Dave and Galveston because I can go live on Dave and Galveston this way, and
All
this way
those
we'll get the
different ways, huh?
yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been
Well,
live on
that's a good
Indies
way to
for
find.
yeah, yeah, we've been live on Indies for a while now
Well,
on their thing.
that I
Yeah.
get, but they like the tick. I didn't. Okay, we're doing the other things too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, see, it's a whole new world. And the amazing thing is, I came with little microphones that we're gonna stick on our lapels.
Yeah.
But Brandon here at Indies, which I want to talk about in a
So
moment, yeah,
gracious.
yeah, set up the microphones, to set up the TV, everything, the table. So we can't say thank you enough to Brandon, who's
No.
ruining the podcast by
Which is
making some espresso right now. The whole
not
podcast is
no.
ruined because of that espresso, sir.
No,
So
it
yeah,
is not.
but Brandon and his wife Carla have come here to Galveston, bringing their coffee, their brand, right?
Okay.
Brandon is a Marine and
I like the
filmmaker.
way you say is a Marine,
That's the only way to
not
say it.
was, because
Mark Metzger is a Marine.
my former CTE director at Ball High
Recon.
is a Marine.
Yes.
Now
You don't say
he left.
was.
I made that mistake once on the job.
Don't do it.
I said, "Yeah, Mr. Eric Paul back there in the office. He was a Marine. Rux, I am a Marine." I'm
Yep.
like, "What's a Marine?
All you,
Always a
yep. All
Marine."
you got to do is hear it once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
you
you'll be like,
remember,
okay,
and you
yeah,
remember that.
I remember,
So,
yeah. So, and again, one thing I do love about Texas, I really do think it's great that we give our respect to our veterans. Here,
we
not that we
care.
don't in Michigan or even Chicago for that. No, really,
Texas is
seriously,
unique.
it's vocal. It's vocal. That's all. That's the
Yeah.
difference, right? So they're vocal about it, and or more, in Michigan, it's more like oh, it might feel the pride, but wouldn't say it, right?
Yeah.
It's true. Don't throw Michigan under the bus. There's good people there, and just like Illinois. Um, yeah, I think that we're looking at the time, which is
We
funny.
are absolutely right where we need to
Well,
be.
I think that we should go for a few minutes longer because I do want to say,
Ta-da.
okay, cool. Yeah, I do want to say a thing or two. I do want to say thank you so much to Indies Coffee
Oh
Bar
yes,
and Speakeasy.
absolutely.
Thank you to
Thank
Brandon
you,
and
thank you,
Carla.
thank you.
We're so grateful for Brandon and Carla. Now, I do want to say that that's what I wanted to go because I think that we have a few more minutes.
Okay.
And speaking about Brandon and Carla and the people here in Galveston, one thing that I really do, and we talked about building bridges,
Yes.
but one thing that I want to make sure that everyone knows is that everything that we do publicly, this artifice, this podcasting, or putting a lot of times you'll see, like, and I'm going to use Brandon and Carla as a great example
Okay.
because Carla is as the face of the business. She does the social media for them, and a lot of times you'll see like a video of Carla or me or anyone else that puts themselves out there, right? And you think you know that person because of the 30-second clip they put on that. I mean, I'm not saying
No.
you do, Sherry Rooks.
Just in
I'm saying
general.
that there are people that, again, because we have a limited attention, we have our lives that we're worried about. So if we spend 30 seconds and see somebody's face and they say something in a tone that we weren't in the mood to hear, we might form an opinion about that person that does not represent that person. They're just 30 seconds of their
And
life.
that's the danger of social media. People think they know somebody because they're friends on Facebook, and that don't mean diddly.
It doesn't. Okay, but don't forget that the dumbing down of America has been going on for 45 years. Okay, don't get me
True.
started. Oh, geez, did I say that out loud? Okay, but it's been a long, long process for people to forget things like that,
Mhm.
right? And again, we get caught up in our lives. We don't care about the details as much as just the surface, because we
No,
just need to be entertained,
we
right?
need to, let me put on a beautiful face, or let me show something wonderful on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever the case may be, your choice of media. But that's really not that person.
Right. And so, on that note, I just want everyone to remember that this is just opinions. We're just talking, we're just
Yes.
sharing,
Yes.
and we're talking about the place that we love the most.
This is true. Galveston rocks.
Galveston, we love you. And so, yeah, I think this is the end of our inaugural.
It went by too quick, Dave.
You think so? Because we
I
did look at the
think-
clock a couple times. Are we at an hour, though? I want to make sure that the broadcast is at least over an hour.
I believe
Let's see
we
what
are.
our young Liam. That doesn't mean anything.
No, well, it
Yeah,
does
I
mean
know.
something, because after we had started already, we were at 2:14,
Hmm.
and now we're at 2:53.
He's looking. You are
See, did I
amazing.
tell you?
Yeah, she's so good. Well, that's why she's here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sherry Rooks.
Hi, guys. I've enjoyed today.
And,
Thank you so much for watching.
Yes, and I'm David Warner, and thank you so much for being a part of Galveston Talk with Dave and Sherry Rooks.
And we'll do it again next week.
Next week.
Yay. Okay.
All right, thanks. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Awesome.